Soup by Margot Ayer. Here, take some of this soup. Bao dipped a spoon into the bowl, blew on it gently, and offered it to Ray. Give me the spoon, she said, batting away his hand. You know, I learned to use a spoon for myself before I could walk or talk. I think I can do this myself. Oh. Bao's face fell briefly, replaced with tight lips and a glare. Fine. The spoon clinked noisily in the bowl as he thrust it at her. I've got plenty of other things to do right now. Make sure to rinse out the bowl when you're done. He pulled himself up, straightened the dagger in his belt, and strode away. Or is that stomped away? Ray shrugged. What cockroach got into his boots? The soup, however, was delicious. She tasted roast chicken, of course, plenty of garlic, what must have been a good half-finger of fresh ginger, and an intriguing spice she hadn't come across before. It was obviously healing. She could almost feel the bones knitting and the skin mending over her wound. He's an impressive cook. Why doesn't he cook more often? Or does he consider a meal's part of a woman's job and medicine part of a true man's responsibility? Typical. She scraped the bottom of the bowl. I wonder if there's more. Bao had retreated to the edge of the clearing and was ostentatiously caring for their horses. He was lifting up and examining each hoof, checking for pebbles or larger stones. His back was turned to her, but she could see that the tips of his ears were red. She cleared her throat, and he stopped moving for a moment, before shaking out his hair and returning to the horses. It's very good, she said. Is there more? Oh, so you like it? Bitterness dropped from each word. Very much, she said, adding honeyed sweetness to her reply. And I can feel it making me better. He turned his face toward her, and her heart warmed. Bao's face was glowing with hope, and there was gentleness and care in his eyes. He was the most vulnerable he'd been on this journey. Is there more? She asked again, sinking back on the saddlebags she was using for support. Of course, he said, retrieving the bowl and topping it up from the tightly closed pot on the fire. As he knelt beside her, she relented. The soup made me realize, she said softly, watching him through half-closed eyelids. He leaned towards her, and she sighed. The sharp, homely fragrance of the soup was present, and behind it she recognized his warmth, the crisp smell of mint wash on his hair, and the farmyard scent of horse sweat and leather. Realize what? He breathed. How weak I am, she whispered, closing her eyes. Can you feed me? She felt him move towards her, heard the clink of the spoon, his breath on the hot soup, and opened her mouth. Is this the end?